Hi there, I'm coming to you live from my classroom. So my name is Olivia. I worked on this assignment with Renata and Dzmitry, and this is my video portion of our group presentation for the second module assignment, which is a collaborative visual blog post on the interconnectedness of philosophy and conceptions of curriculum. So we'll start with the big idea of philosophy in the center of our mind map. Philosophy influences the educational decisions, choices, and alternatives as stated by Ornstein in 1990. As individuals develop their educational pedagogy and practice, their personal educational philosophy also develops. Educational philosophy is developed individually and will define the experience within schools. Curriculum developers are influenced in their decision-making when organizing and developing an educational program for schools through their personal educational philosophy. It is difficult to remain objective when developing curriculum because it is such a personal task. The idea behind all of the development of philosophy and conceptions of curriculum is that it will provide us with a framework, a sense of purpose, idea of what to teach, and how to teach it. So moving on to the overview of our mind map, we have designed it in a way that resembles a set of lungs, with the contemporary orientation being on the right-hand side of the map with all the red headings, while the traditional is on the left side with the blue headings. So when you dive into the two sections, you begin to see more connections and defined categories on each of the two. So the contemporary orientation encompasses the self-actualization and social reconstructionism conceptions, which connect to progressivism and reconstructionism philosophies. Whew, that's a mouthful. So both the progressivism and reconstructionism philosophies connect to pragmatism. On the bottom half of the right-hand side of our mind map is the curriculum designs that connect to the philosophies and conceptions above. We have the learner-centered design, which branches into the child-centered design, experience-centered design, and radical design and humanistic design. The problem-centered design also follows under contemporary orientations with the branches, life situations, reconstructionist, and social function and activity. Moving on to the left-hand side, we're looking more at the traditional orientations. So the traditional orientation branches into three sections, including the cognitive process conception, academic rationalism conception, and curriculum of technology conception. You can also see the connections to the perennialism and essentialism philosophies. The essentialism philosophy also connects to idealism and realism, while the perennialism philosophy only connects to realism. At the bottom of the left-hand side is the curriculum design called subject-centered design, which breaks out into 5 sections, including subject design, discipline design, broad field design, correlation design, and process design. On the outsides of both branches, we also have a list of characteristics regularly found in the two orientations. Below the majority of the web, you can find other elements of the design process that apply to the entire selection of the curriculum design, and we will have a link to our web attached with all of the elaborations, which you can see by hovering your mouse over the 3 lines next to each heading.
So, this slide shows different curricular designs on the left side in orange, different conceptions of curriculum on the right side in green, and different philosophical foundations in the center in blue. In order to show connections between designs, philosophies, and conceptions, we arrange them into groups. First group is the subject process centered group, and it includes subject-centered designs as identified by Ornstein and Hankins, which are subject design, discipline design, correlation design, broad fields design, as well as process design. These designs are linked together with philosophies. Perennialism, which is focused on classical subjects, and essentialism, which is about essential subjects and skills. And so three approaches are in this group. This is academic rationalism and two processes focused approaches, curriculum as technology and development of cognitive process. Now, group two is a learner-centered group where providing value to students is a central focus. We put child-centered design, experience-centered design, humanistic design, and romantic or radical design into this group. And these designs are related to philosophy of progressivism and self-actualization conceptions of curriculum. Finally, we made a society-centered group where we put reconstructivist and life situation design approaches. These two designs are connected with the philosophy of reconstructivism and social reconstruction conception of curriculum.
As Dzmitry, Olivia, and I worked through this assignment, a number of things related to interconnectedness became very apparent, making this collaboration that much more relevant. As we each contributed to the assignment, Salwell's concluding thought brings what I think this whole thing full circle. Quote, "We must welcome hybrid and new designs that meld new technologies, as new designs contain the same basic components as old ones do, hence the use of the yin-yang diorama. Curriculum designers must find a balance between traditional and contemporary philosophy, or the yin-yang of education. In order to develop this hybrid curriculum framework, Ornstein reminds us that we must take into consideration not only the subjects we teach and the teachers who teach them, but also the myriad of learners that grace us with their presence. All learners learn differently. And finally, how do we evaluate their progress so that we can produce a well-knowledged graduate in the end, with a role in society, as well as a sense of responsibility to make their contributions count towards the betterment of their community, not only locally, but also globally. In order to do this, curriculum designers must pull from the traditional conceptions of cognitive process, academic rationalism, and technology that follow a philosophy of perennialism and essentialism, and his emphasis is on subject-centered design, but then they must balance or meld that traditional concept with a contemporary school of thought that better suits our 21st century learners. And these conceptions include things like self-actualization and social reconstructionism conceptions. These follow the more contemporary progressivism and reconstructionist philosophies and include learner-centered and problem-centered designs. It's in the balancing of the yin of traditionalism and the yang of contemporaryism that we find that hybrid that both Salwell and Ornstein conclude is the answer to our Western multicultural landscape and curriculum design.